This is the hardest part of day trading right here. This right here. This is the hardest part. Not doing anything. It's an affliction. It's an addiction. Whatever it is. It's emotions, right? So I started to film this video. I was looking at the market and I was like, I think if we get this breakout here through that 300 level, we'll push up there in maybe 330, 350s to the upside there. And it's funny because I literally started, the whole purpose of this video was to talk about the idea of when is enough enough? Like, when should I walk away? The hardest part of trading. Look at that. And now it's squeezing straight up. Are you kidding me? This really is the hardest part because now I have an insane amount of FOMO. The market just pushed up 30 points and I'm just watching it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's literally like, look at that. It went to 350. The high 350.50. Like, this is literally happening in the moment. And, looking at that now from the 300s to the 350s, oh, that would have been beautiful. We saw on the book map all that liquidity up there at the 19,350s. And here I am fighting this emotion of wanting more. Patrick, we just need to make a little bit more. Why not make some more, right? We can make some more right now. On the day, we're up 21,716. You can see that's real money account there. Live Trade Evade account, as you can see right there. Live and active. This is real money. So it's a battle. And I feel like a lot of times it's very easy to give in, right? It's very easy to tell yourself that you're not going to take a trade. Like I said, I was just about to sit down and start filming this video. I just got back from Chipotle and I'm watching the market and it's going literally exact. It's hurt. It's hurting right now. It honestly is hurting, the fact of not taking another trade. Like, so when is enough enough? The hardest part of trading is to know when not to trade. And it's funny because a lot of times I look back at the days that I have red days, the days that I have, bad days. Two things happen. I'm either FOMOing into a trade because it's just not like I'm not waiting for my setups, or I make money in the morning and then I give it back in the afternoon. And like I said, looking at my P&L here again, as you can see there, $21,000. I had a discussion with myself this morning. I was sitting outside. I was thinking about life. And I was sitting there thinking like, well, if I just make on average $5,000 a day, if I can hit that $5,000 target a day and have some outliers, have some $10,000, have some $20,000 days, I only need 10 days to make $50,000, right? Like, it sounds crazy. I mean, it might be crazy. I might be crazy to think about, but the thing that I want to think about today, for example, if my goal is to average $5,000 a day, that means that, I need to have some outlier days. I need to have some $10,000, some $20,000 days to make up for the inevitable red days that are coming. It's funny because people will be like, well, what's your risk to reward? Like, how much are you going to risk to make 5,000? And honestly, I would risk 1-to-1 because I know that my overall win-loss ratio is above 50%. So even if I'm at 60, even if I'm at 70% win-loss ratio, even if I'm at 55%, as long as I'm continuously sticking to the plan, having those outlier days where I make $10,000, where I make $20,000 in a day, that's just giving me that many more days that I can lose and still be break even. If you think about it, like making $20,000 in one day, well, that would mean that now I can basically lose 4 days in a row, have 4 red days, and still be break even in the next 5-day period. So again, going back to the idea of like, when is enough enough? I think you really got to be honest with yourself and say, hey, is this time for me to be trading? Should I be trading right now at 12:30 in the afternoon? Like, when do I make the majority of my money? When do the majority of my setups, really kind of work out beautifully? Well, normally in the morning. Normally in the morning, we get the beautiful setups and it all plays out. Today, the 15-minute range here at open, look at this breakdown. From the 19,100 straight down. Over 100 points, 200 points. right? Yeah, 200 points to the downside after breaking out of the 15-minute range. There's your opening 15-minute range, 9:30 to 9:45. We break to the downside. We talked about this live on YouTube this morning. If you're not tuning into the live streams, make sure you tune in. We're live every morning at 9 a.m. But look at this move. From the 109, 110 level, basically said, hey, if we lose this 120s, we are going downtown, and there's 200 points. And look at the push back up. This was a great setup earlier as well to get this breakout through there and that push up there into this 100 level. We get above the VWAP here. We turn it into support. We end up ripping up there. We ended up trading this earlier as well. So a lot of opportunity in the market today. I sit here and I look at my P&L and I'm thinking like 21,000. It's pretty good. Like that's a good day, right? Like why am I even feeling any type of emotion that I need to trade more or I need to focus more or just keep trading in general? Like why is that emotion there? And I think a lot of that just comes just from like this idea that, hey, if I made 20, why can't I make 50? If I made 10,000, why can't I make 20,000? And there will be days where you've got to push the envelope. You've got to take more risks. You get to that $10,000 day and you got to keep pushing. But again, I think it really just comes back to your strategy, right? Just because you want to hit a goal, just because you're like, hey, I want to make $20,000 in a day, doesn't mean you should keep trading if there's not an opportunity. If opportunity presents itself and you feel good about it and you're looking at it like, okay, this is a good trade, well, then maybe trade it. But again, it goes back to, are you normally finding good setups at 12:30 in the afternoon? You can't sit on a computer all day long. You really can't. You can't sit on the damn computer all day long and trade. You've got to cut it off at some point. Today, perfect example for me of just needing to cut it off. Like I've talked about before, with you guys so many times that I've talked about the idea of like giving back profits, which is the worst possible case scenario in terms of being up $20,000 on the day and you end up giving back profit. And before you know it, now you're down on the day. Now you're hitting your max loss for the day. Yeah, I definitely want to avoid that. And you can see how these setups are, they're kind of playing out, but it's the middle of the day. We know momentum, historically, generally, the momentum kind of isn't as strong in the middle of the day. So I got to tell myself that, like, hey, we know how this plays out. There is a chance that this does go higher. Sure. Maybe it does go to the 400s there next. But at the same time, we also know that the majority of the time, we get a lot of fake breakouts, fake breakdowns, things like that, middle of the day here. So it's about weighing your risk reward. Is there still a lot of reward on this trade if it does go higher? Maybe. But really, the reward was down there at the VWAP earlier. Trading the open, trading the setups that present themselves. Right now, probably not the best idea to trade this. And look, again, fake breakout, little full pullback there. Stay out of it. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of talking about life, talking about the pursuit of happiness and the idea that 20,000 on a good day isn't a good day. It blows my mind. So we got to get rid of that thought process. We got to think about at the end of the day, I've said at the end of the day a lot. At the end of the day, 20,000 has now allowed me to have 4 losing days. I can have 4 losing days or 3 losing days and still be in the green on after that with $20,000 a day. So that right there should be a big confidence booster. That should be like, hey, that's good. That's a good day right there, my friend. So there it is. Look at that. The fake little breakout, the pullback. Perfect. We're walking away. We're staying out of it. We take our $20,000 and we live to fight another day. If you guys haven't hit that like button, subscribe button, you know what to do. I'll talk to you guys later on.